Every couple years, I end up buying a new battery. It dies after sitting. I throw it on a charger. Sometimes it comes back, sometimes it doesn't, but a lot of times this thing sits for a while. I come out to use it because I need it, and dead battery or slow starting condition. And that got me wondering, have lithium batteries now become the better choice, or is this just an upgrade that nobody really needs? In today's video, we're going to talk about just that. Today, we're putting this lithium battery in my Polaris Ranger and seeing what actually makes these different. I only use the Polaris Ranger once in a while. I'll use it really heavily when I'm working on firewood or when I've got some things that I need to haul around, but then it might sit for 3 weeks, 4 weeks at a time where I'm not using it at all. And ultimately, that's not great for those old lead batteries. Remember when this Polaris Ranger wouldn't start? I thought it might be the battery. I thought it might be the starter solenoid. It ended up being the ignition switch, and I'll put a link to that video up above. But I didn't know that without a whole bunch of troubleshooting. What if there was an easier way to know if the battery was the issue? This is one of the things that sold me on giving this battery a try. I know my percentage, I know the voltage, just with the push of a button. When the Polaris Ranger wouldn't start, the first thing I thought is dead battery. I wonder how many batteries were replaced and they actually weren't even the problem. Let's talk a little bit about the differences between the lead acid and the lithium battery. This lead acid battery, it loses charge just sitting. It's heavy. It uses sulfates, and as it loses charge, the voltage actually drops, which makes a hard condition for your starter solenoid and your starter. A lithium battery, like this Tycool battery that I have, holds the charge longer, is lighter, has steady voltage. The voltage doesn't go down over time. It's vibration resistant, and when I say lighter, I mean lighter. Everybody knows that lithium batteries aren't as heavy, don't weigh as much as lead acid. The lead acid battery, the size that goes in our Polaris Ranger, depending on how many cold cranking amps it is and the brand of it, it can weigh anywhere between 18 and 24 pounds. This thing is pretty heavy. Shockingly, when you touch this, after just lifting that, it's like you've used a weighted bat and then you go to your regular bat in baseball season. This is 3.4 pounds. The really nice thing is fitment is exactly the same. Just pull out the old battery and the new one goes in the exact same spot. Again, 3 pounds instead of 18. And then just check to make sure your wiring is right. On our Polaris Ranger, you can put the negative or the positive through either side. So on this battery, the positive goes here, and we'll run our negative through this hole. The negative goes here. So we're gonna go ahead and put the 10 millimeter bolt through here, through the battery cable. Same thing on the positive side. The positive side does have this little boot on the cable, just like that. If you haven't already, this is a great time to click that thumbs up button and leave a comment down below. And there you can see our display. I tapped the button, 13.4 volts, 100%. But let me show you the slight issue I have. In our Ranger, this plate is the battery hold down, and it's supposed to go right there. You can see that's going to keep me from pushing the button or seeing the display. I thought about flipping it around this way, but then these posts make contact. So leave a comment down below a solution for me to be able to see this really nice display, which is one of the things I love about the battery, but it's going to be blocked by the battery hold down. Now, there are a couple things you should know before buying any lithium battery. First of all, the charging voltage. If you've got a really old ATV, UTV, or other piece of equipment where the voltage isn't regulated very well, a lithium battery might not be right for you. You want a stable charging system that's going to charge 14 volts, but under 15 volts. Older charging systems have higher fluctuations that aren't good for lithium batteries. Another thing you need to be really aware of is battery chargers. Some of the old battery chargers were really designed only for lead acid batteries. They have a process called desulfication where they're sending spikes of electricity into the battery to clean it and make it more chargeable. Those battery chargers are not to be used with a lithium battery. They can destroy the electronics within the battery. So either check to make sure the battery charger you have is qualified to be used on a Life PO4 battery or a lithium battery like this one, or for not much money you can pick up a charger specifically designed for a lithium battery. I'll put a link down below in the description of this video for this battery that I used in my Polaris Ranger and the trickle charger that can be used to charge this battery if you're setting it on a workbench for the wintertime, for example. Now obviously if I take this out for the wintertime, throw it on the workbench, and I'm charging it with that trickle charger, this one right here, then it's super easy to just hit the button and see the battery percentage and the voltage. For something like this Polaris Ranger that sits for weeks at a time, maybe even a month at a time or longer, especially in our cold Pennsylvania winters, I think a lithium battery makes a lot of sense. It's not going to lose charge over time in the cold weather, and that's going to be perfect for my needs. When I come out after this has been sitting for a month and I need to haul some firewood, I need it to start. Okay, we know exactly what the voltage of our new battery, the Tycool lithium battery, is because we can hit the button and see it, 13.4. And I know that might have been hard to see on screen because sometimes LCD displays don't show well on video because of the frame rate of the video. Let's take a look here at this previous battery we had on the Polaris Ranger and see what the voltage is here. 12.6. Just to make sure that display is not lying to us, we are getting 13.33 on the multimeter. I wanted to talk to you about a few key differences between a lithium battery and a lead battery. Lead acid batteries lose charge quickly when they're sitting. We mentioned that. That can lead to the dead battery condition if it's used seasonally or left in storage a long time. LiFe PO4 batteries have a much lower self-discharge rate and can retain their voltage for months without maintenance. The other thing is voltage stability. Traditional batteries often experience a noticeable voltage drop under heavy starting loads. Lithium batteries maintain a stable and consistent voltage curve throughout the discharge cycle, providing steady power to fuel systems, ignition systems, ECUs, starters. And last but not least, unlike lead acid units that contain liquid acid and internal plates that are susceptible to mechanical shock, lithium batteries are solid state and inherently more resistant to the constant vibrations of off-road or utility use, like in a piece of equipment like our Polaris Ranger. I've wanted to try a lithium battery in the camper for a long time because they're lightweight. They maintain that voltage level throughout the discharge cycle, and that's a big difference when you're powering something. Now, I haven't had a chance to try it in the camper, but I know a lot of other RVers who have put lithium batteries inside their camper. But this is my first test at a lithium battery on a piece of equipment that sits for longer periods of time, and then I need to use it, so I need it to start reliably. Leave a comment down below if you've made a switch to lithium batteries in some piece of equipment or a camper, and let us know your experience. I love the ability to know that I'm gonna have full capacity starting even if this thing's been sitting for 2, 3, or 4 weeks. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative and entertaining, please give us a big thumbs up. Leave those comments down below, and hopefully we'll see you again the next time. Oh, and one other thing. If you haven't checked out purplecolorlife.com, that is our website. When you go on there for the first time, it's going to give you a pop-up window to enter your email address. That's so in the future when we send out newsletters, we could send you a newsletter. We won't use it for spam or anything like that, but we'd love to have you on our email list for the future. Okay, moment of truth, because that would all be for nothing if this thing doesn't start. Nice.